we have changed seats because I suddenly realized that he was taking my photo on my bad side. And it took me a long time to realize it was
I didn't even know you had a bad side.
So now I'm on the good side. So when I talk to him, I will have, I'll look normal. Instead of, I'm sorry to say, toothless. You know, when you get old and you have your teeth yanked out at some point, not realizing that you're going to have a bad side from then on when you are photographed because you don't anticipate having your photo taken.
Well, why don't
when
you do what I did?
Losing your teeth.
I grip them out on both sides so it balances it out. So
Right.
with it.
Well, already I have been to the doctor's this morning. I've probably walked at least seven, possibly 7.5 blocks to get to the doctor. And I realized there were not any ladies as old as I am riding the bus going to the doctor. I don't know how they get there. If they take cabs or what they do. They seem to be taking a lot of cabs out here. But here I am, still getting on the bus. And I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this. But this morning I was able to get there, and I had my echoes, my chambers of my heart, I had an echogram. And next week I have to do it all over again to find out the results.
That could be a nice country western song. I had the chambers of my heart with that echogram, and you wasn't there.
Oh no, you're never there. Oh, he would never ever have the echoes of his heart tested. He doesn't have anything tested. That's a bad word to him. Doctor's test.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No.
The only way you can get your heart tested is, first of all, you have to have one, right? Mm-hmm. So they've been looking around for about 50 years now. They haven't done a damn thing, haven't found it.
And today I brought back his paper, this paper we've been faithfully reading for ever since I've known him, and before that I read it for years and years, the Arizona Republic. And I have found out more and more what happened,
Folks, I want you to show you what I paid for.
influence.
Look at this. If this woman hasn't sat on it,
Messed up, yes.
it's incredible.
Well, I was at the bus stop. I had nothing to do but read and tear the paper apart. But anyway, I found out what happened to my newspaper, the Arizona Republic.
What happened?
It was back when, in 1973, something
This is a
like
good
that I
side,
started
folks.
noticing very strongly, which I hadn't really realized before, that this paper had gone to the left. Here we were in Arizona, among the cactus, and 100-degree weather, supposed to be the Wild West, and here we were with a newspaper.
It's only going to 100 degrees in a couple, 3 hours. What's a big deal?
A newspaper
When
that
it hits
was
115,
upon themselves to teach women how to have an abortion without, their conscience hurting them, nothing like that. Imagine, well, look at him. He doesn't even know that happened in Arizona because he wasn't reading the editorial page like I do. He had no idea. But I did, and I read it, and I thought, what is happening here? What is our publisher? Is our publisher in the pocket? Has he turned communist? What? I mean, he founded this paper. He had it for years. What happened to him?
Do you ever expound on anything?
Well, I found out that, and I bet you don't even know who George Soros is.
I got a free big whopper, guys. a free one.
Listen to
She
him.
buys one, and I get the free one, right?
He considers
Unfortunately, I
himself
pay for it, and she gets the free one.
extremely intelligent and well-informed, but he doesn't even know who George Soros is. Well, I've been, I've heard about him over the years, but he just kind of tried to keep a low profile. But I found out more and more that he had quite a few papers under his control. One of them was the Boston Globe.
No kidding.
Another one was, but I knew that they were connected because the Republic was in the loop. They were printing all of their columns,
Oh,
radical.
Did you know who just bought the Arizona Republic?
Who?
Gannett.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This was a few years ago, but they haven't substantially
No,
changed.
it wasn't a few years ago. They just glomped it back up again.
Well, they already had it. Garnett, that is today.
No, Gannett.
Gannett? No, Garnett is the name of them.
I'm sorry, but
I think you're missing. I haven't read about that latest, anything late at all. I don't believe that's right. Because I try to keep track of those things. Because for years, had to read in that Republic, right out here under the Western Stars, all about
wait a minute, I want to see what's
how,
on the front of this thing.
What
is on the front
You
of
would
that?
think that we were a new.
Well, what is that?
Don't worry about it. Just face forward. Be ready to defend yourself.
Oh, I better take my glasses off. This sounds like this gonna be a real problem.
But anyway, can you
She
imagine?
told me this morning, she
I
said
used to have hope, that poor people could get ahead. They could become writers. They could do all these things. But ever since,
It'll be all right.
some of these millionaires got hold of the papers, I have become disillusioned. I mean, you don't think that when millionaires don't value poor
Can I eat
people's
my Whopper
children,
now?
do they value poor people either? Well, they have to put up with them, but can you imagine George Soros thinking some poor person down here in Arizona might have something valuable to say to the world?
Oh.
I don't think so. Some person that unfortunately got disabled, clear back due to some authoritarian methods that were used on me, disregarding my rights, disregarding my youth. They just simply ran over me, as authoritarian people are used to doing.
They ran over you.
Yes, they did. They
That must have
literally
been-
ran over
must
me,
have
just
been
like they took a truck and just mowed
One
me
bumpy
down.
ride, I'll tell you that, if they run over
Yes.
you.
So, I know what it is to be disvalued in, and this is a democracy. This is where the poor are supposed to have some rights. And
Well,
one time I think we
You see,
tried
what you
to
just said was true.
get that across, that
The
you
poor
could
was supposed to
succeed.
have some rights.
Supposed to
See,
have
there's a
some.
big difference between having rights and supposed to have rights. Now, here's a woman.
The rich.
Here's a woman who read a book the other day on American history, and she says, "Oh God, there's so much drinking going on in American history. I couldn't believe it." And
Yeah,
I just
but that
told her,
was
I said, "I don't know
before the
what you
democracy.
learned when you were young."
Hey, I didn't tell you the rest of the story. After the democracy was formed,
Oh gosh, here we go.
hard work, sobriety, we became a model to the world for hard work.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Settlers. Everybody had to make everything from scratch. They had to make their own candles. They had to make. I know, because my people were homesteaders. And I was living on a ranch with very primitive conditions, and I know how hard we had to work. We had to work from daylight till dark. Don't think we didn't have to work if you live under conditions like that. Oh, I'll tell you what's been the ruination of mankind is when all the modern conveniences came in, so all you have to do is throw your washing into a washer, and you have to
Get a Whopper,
And-
get a Whopper, get a Whopper.
and you know
Get
you
two Whoppers, buy one, get one free.
You know, look at how hard these people in here work. Oh my God, I've never seen such hard workers. They just get up and work real hard not to do one thing. What happened? What happened to the? Well, I'll tell you what. There are some very hardworking Americans that, when they got modern conveniences, I'll tell you what the women did. They all went out to work. They all went and found a job in some factory or cafe or someplace in order to have the American dream. They didn't stay home anymore when the hard work, when we got modern conveniences to help.
Well, here's one of the problems that I think. You've been reading American history because there's been a couple world wars, you know, and they don't usually take the women. They take the guys out and they slaughter them, and the women have what? Then in World War II, they're taking out the guys and they're slaughtering women. We've got these jobs so that you can work in the factories and work in the, you know, so you guys, so your boyfriends in all these guys can go get killed, and then at the end of the war,
you can tell
nobody comes home, and then you can
go get killed.
And then you can produce a whole new generation of what we now call the people who are wanting to now get on welfare, and Social Security is just draining itself. So anyway, you should pay attention to American history. It's
I am paying
democracy.
attention. I'm paying attention. Well, it's supposed
Is this your good
to
side? Now, what's your good
be.
side again?
You don't think this is my... See, when I turn, this is now my good side. I'm turning, looking at you, talking to you, and here is showing my good side.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That is what I was concerned about. I thought I
was
was show
I was
a better
concerned.
side.
I didn't know what my good side was.
I know.
She told me this morning, she said, take these glasses off because I'm looking for a guy that doesn't wear glasses. I don't like men who wear glasses. So I said, what? She said, well, get in and get the cataract surgery.
You'd be so handsome without glasses.
Oh, wouldn't I though? Yes. I'd already,
I'm a little bit too good looking for you now.
Oh, I know. I just, be still my beating heart. You know? I mean, oh boy.
Yeah. But anyway, if I don't get you off that stuff, you know, you're not going to last too long, so I'll be out looking again. But now I think I can probably find somebody, since I only look half my age, and
You really do. You only look half your age. Of course, you're 150 years old, but you know that's not bad for 150. You don't want more than 75 to me, honey.
And I think I've been doing my part by doing lots of reading, books, and distilling what I glean from these
Wait
books.
a minute. Now
And
here you are talking about things that you don't like. And the next thing I hear, you're distilling over here. Right? See, that's ununderstood. That's a wrong word to use.
Oh, distill.
You should be gleaning.
That's what you should be
pursuing.
doing, is distilling from books, not. So anyway, I've been trying to do my part for years. I've been writing, and trying to get it out to public. I've been trying to get my thinking out. If millionaires like George Soros would value me more. But of course he wants somebody who will say what he thinks.
Well, here's
and
what
of course I wouldn't do it. I would be an awful
Here's one of the things I want to tell you right
for
now.
him.
We have a channel in this town. It's called Channel 10. And it starts with an F, right? That is so conservative, but they do such nutty stuff. This is the kind of guy you should be looking forward to. We're not naming the guy who owns Murdoch, who owns all this crap. This is a guy that you ought to be cozying
Oh, but
up to.
those guys are so dominating. You know, they don't want anyone to disagree with them.
You don't disagree with them.
Hell, They fired all the pro-life people on the newspapers. Oh, we're not putting up with that.
Murdoch didn't.
They ruined the newspaper business, these millionaires, when they get hold of it. A Democratic newspaper is far superior to one controlled by millionaires, believe me. And, that's what I finally had to conclude, that these millionaires got carried away.
When was the last time you
decided that everybody had to go pro-choice.
That wasn't controlled by a millionaire.
Hey, I found out that ditch diggers, people like that, they say what they want. They don't care.
They can say
they
anything
use
they
their
want,
job.
right.
They say what they think.
You've been
So
watching.
you have to hang out with people who are, who are used to saying what they think, and they are used to living in an environment where they can say what they think.
That's true. The problem
They
is
might be ditch diggers, but they're free. Millionaires can't control them. You've got to be willing to dig ditch to be free.
When did you ever in your life ever dug a ditch?
Oh, are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
I was raised digging. I had a shovel many times in my hands, believe it or not.
So that would
Putting
explain.
in gardens, sod dams, irrigating.
And then you were what, 10?
And I was not afraid
And you were
of
what,
ditch
10 years
diggers.
old by then?
I was not afraid of them. And I found out when you go to college, your mind...
Well, they don't have a ditch digger college.
No,
I'm sorry.
and therefore
They've got
they control
ASU here,
their
which
minds.
is pretty close to a ditch digger college.
See, when I can,
ASU, you want to have fun? Come to ASU, folks. Yeah.
let me tell you, there's a very subtle but very definite
Am I subtle?
control of students in college. I mean, you soon find out what is, and everybody's pro-choice in college, believe me. They are not pro-life, except maybe in a religious college, because it's not cool to be pro-life.
Whoever told you were cool?
I am not cool.
Well, that's what I said.
I think for myself. I don't care whether people think I'm cool or not.
Well, haven't you beaten
it's...
this horse to death?
No, yeah, well, I have to because they still keep...
Now,
it used to be...
You're supposed to be you're showing your good side.
Legalized abortion is...
Showing your good side.
Took away another more of our rights. The right to believe in life. That's what it took away. And then there was a whole lot of pressure on a whole lot of people to go with it, to be with it. So college professors joined them.
And you wonder why nobody watches your
students.
blog anymore.
No, they don't, because it's not cool.
Let's talk about this big perk you got the other day.
And I thought college students were the most free.
Let's talk about the big perk you got on here.
Because they could read.
290 people.
But not when you got a totalitarian frame of mind in your government. Not when you got millionaires thinking they can control the media. They're going to tell people what to think. They're going to put out propaganda. This is what happened in this newspaper. Propaganda.
What happened? What happened when?
Propaganda.
What?
And if everybody didn't go along, they got fired.
How come you got this big shot?
You had to be pro-choice to work for one of these newspapers. Believe me. Now, is that freedom? Is that the journalist who is always going to be for what's right? Not after the millionaires got a hold of it.
The 80 folks.
Not after they started pouring money into
It's
it.
going to probably have a heart attack on camera here. Tell us why you got this big.
We lost more
That
freedom.
big spike the other day.
More freedom.
How come you got that big spike the other day?
Oh, that was probably over wedding rings or something. It was a fluke. But let me tell you, this guy, he's buried in the brew, and it controls him. The millionaires don't control him. He's under control of a substance. So that is too bad. That's very sad.
I know.
And so it's always as far as I'm concerned, the struggle to free ourselves, to keep free, to keep whatever rights that we have gotten used to, not to see them disappear.
They're disappearing on a regular basis.
So, of course they are. Now, are you fighting? I'm fighting. I'm fighting to keep them. I'm fighting to say, this is what's happening, people. Because once, if you just keep giving away your rights, you just keep letting them go, letting them go, letting them go. True.
The people that
you have any.
The people that read your blog will be letting you go. Letting you go. Letting you go and letting you go.
But I'll be fighting. I'll be fighting for our rights right up until the very end. I'll be blogging and saying, come on, people. Come on, people.
My little heart out.
Don't let your rights go. And I can still be cheerful. I can still, because I've got a lot of faith in people that, when they finally get the idea that they have to fight for their rights, I think they'll show more.
I think we're gonna do our own religion here, okay? We'll get together. I'll be the main speaker and she'll be the commentator, okay? I'll tell you what to believe and she'll be the commentator. She'll be the color, you're like the announcer on the football team or the baseball team. Last series he's auditioning and he slid into there. And then what do you think about that? And then you have to fill in the color commentary, so. Hey, listen, I told you years ago, if seriously gotten into religion, I'd be a dangerous person. I really would, because.
Oh, yeah.
You'd
probably be
so
a
easily,
dictator, too. You'd be taking people's rights away from them. Do what I say. Think what I think. It's
what
so
do you
easy
think
to want
religious
to be.
people do? That's what they do.
Well, I know.
Holy
I know
crap.
you have to fight a lot of
He
your...
doesn't understand that.
I do, too, understand it. I mean, you can get domination, you can get authority coming in every kind of direction there is, from millionaires.
Now, don't forget to show them your good side now.
Oh, I won't forget, don't worry. Well, listen, folks, I need to go because I've got to go and be at home so that my son can call me. He's on the road. He's coming to Phoenix, so I hope he'll call me on the way. So,
well, you're going to see this before you go.
Well, okay, but I am
ready
to see.
He's on the road again, coming back to Phoenix again.
My son is on the road again.
Ooh, doggies.